Good morning, students. Our today's topic is population interactions. Can you think of any natural habitat on Earth that is inhabited just by a single species? There is no such habitat, and such a situation is even inconceivable. For any species, the minimum requirement is one more species on which it can feed. Even a plant species which makes its own food cannot survive alone. It needs soil microbes to break down the organic matter in soil and return the inorganic nutrients for absorption. And then, how will the plant manage pollination without an animal agent? It is obvious that in nature, animals, plants, and microbes do not and cannot live in isolation but interact in various ways to form a biological community. Interspecific interactions arise from the interaction of populations of two different species. They could be beneficial, detrimental or harmful, or neutral. Neutral means neither harm nor benefit to one of the species or both. Assigning a positive sign for beneficial interaction, minus sign for detrimental or harmful, and 0 or O for neutral interaction. Let us look at all the possible outcomes of interspecific interaction, which is shown in table 13.1. This table is very important, so learn this table. Here the name of interactions is given, that is mutualism, competition, predation, parasitism, commensalism and amensalism. In this chapter we will study about each of these interactions. So here two species are shown, species A and species B. In the mutualism process, in the interaction of mutualism, both the species are benefited. So they have shown by the positive sign. In competition, both the species are harmed. Minus sign is shown. In predation, one is benefited and other is harmed. Predator, which eats the host, predator is benefited and other organism is harmed. In parasitism also, one species is benefited and one is harmed. Host is harmed in this case. In commensalism, one is benefited but the other species has no effect. It is neither harmed nor benefited. We will study these examples afterwards. And in amensalism, one species is harmed but other species is not affected. Like in the case of penicillin, which is a fungus. It checks the growth of the bacteria and does not gain anything. So penicillin controls the growth of the bacteria but it doesn't get any benefit. This type of interaction is known as amensalism. Both the species benefit in mutualism, both lose in competition and in their interactions with each other. In both parasitism and predation only, one species benefits, parasite and predator, and the interaction is detrimental to the other species, that is to the host and prey respectively. The interaction where one species is benefited and other is neither benefited nor harmed is called commensalism. In amensalism, on the other hand, one species is harmed whereas the other is unaffected. Predation, parasitism and commensalism share a common characteristics. What is that common characteristics? The interspecific species, the interacting species live closely together. That is in the predation, parasitism and in commensalism. The two interacting species, they live close to each other. Very important point. They live close to each other. Now, next is predation. When we think of predator and prey, most probably it is tiger and the deer that rarely come to our mind. But a sparrow eating any seed is no less than a predator. Although animals eating plants are characterized separately as herbivores, they are, in a broad ecological context, not very different from predators. So, they are also considered as predators. Besides acting as conduits means a channel for energy transfer across trophic level. What is trophic level? Each step in a food chain is known as trophic level. Predators play other important roles. They keep prey population under control. But for predators, prey species could achieve very high population densities and cause ecosystem instability. When certain exotics mean foreign species, are introduced into the geographical area, they become invasive and start spreading fast because the invaded land does not have any natural predators. जब कोई बाहर से एक्जॉटिक स्पीशीज़ को लाकर हम इंडियन किसी भी हैबिटेट में लगाते हैं, किसी जोग्राफिकल एरिया में, तो पहले वो बहुत फास्ट से बढ़ती है. क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ पे उसका कोई भी नेचुरल प्रीडेटर प्रेजेंट नहीं होता. द प्रिकली पियर कैक्टस introduced into Australia in the early 1920s caused havoc by spreading rapidly into millions of hectares of rangeland. Finally, the invasive cactus was brought under control only after a cactus feeding predator, that is a moth, from its natural habitat was introduced into the country. This type of arrangement is known as biological control method. When any animal is used to control the disease, that is biological control methods. So, biological control methods adopted in agricultural pest control are based on the ability of the predator to regulate prey population. Predators also help in maintaining species diversity in a community by reducing the intensity of the competition among competing prey species. In the rocky intertidal communities of American Pacific coast, the starfish pisaster is an important predator. In a field experiment, when all the starfish were removed from an enclosed intertidal area, more than 10 species of invertebrates become extinct within a year because of inter-specific competition. अगर एक जगह से स्टारफिश को निकाला तो वहाँ से जितने भी उसके होस्ट थे, दैट इज़ जितनी भी इनवर्टिब्रेट्स छोटे, वो भी उसके साथ में एक्सटिंक्ट हो गए. If a predator is too efficient and overexploits its prey, then the prey might become extinct, and following it, the predator will also become extinct for lack of food. This is the reason why predators in nature are prudent. What is the meaning of prudent? They use the resources safely and wisely and keep something for future also. Prey species have evolved various defenses to lessen the impact of predation. Some species of insects and frogs are cryptically colored. They camouflage to avoid being detected easily by the predator. Some are poisonous and therefore avoided by the predators. The monarch butterfly is highly distasteful to its predators because of a special chemical present in its body. Interestingly, the butterfly acquires this chemical during its caterpillar stage by feeding on poisonous weed. For plants, herbivores are the predators. Nearly 25% of all insects are known to be phytophagous, that is, feeding on plant sap and other parts of plants. The problem is particularly severe for plants because unlike animals, they cannot run away from their predators. Plants therefore have evolved an astonishing variety of morphological and chemical defenses against herbivores. Thorns in cactus or acacia are the most common morphological means of defense. Morphological means in the structure, outer structure. Many plants produce and store chemicals that make the herbivores sick when they are eaten, inhibit feeding or digestion, disrupt its reproduction, or even kill it. Calotropus produces a poisonous cardiac glycosides. So, no cattle or goat browsing on this plant. So, no cattle eat this plant. A wide variety of chemical substances that we extract from plants on a commercial scale, like nicotine, caffeine, quinine, strychnine, opium, etc., are produced by them actually as defense against grazers and browsers, against the animals. So, from this predation, you have to learn the type examples which are given in this. Learn the example and type of interaction that exists between them. I hope this is clear. Competition we will start next time. Thank you.